Like, circle down the way.
Oh, the stupidest thing is stuff. I go, you know, when the park always is around that.
At 6 o'clock, let's call in the city town around the council to order, Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Cheesley,
Here.
Fisher,
Here. Yes.
Roundstrow,
Here.
Mylum,
Here.
Cook.
Here. All right, let's go through the agenda. On the minutes, any questions on? No questions? Okay. On the bills, anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, you got him here? He is not. No,
He's not.
He's excused. We're doing a fall fest advance of $5,000. We spend that much money on fall fest?
Pumpkins,
You make mine, but we.
yay,
And then. The other line was Webster's Zazani.
Yeah.
We paid them last year $75,275 even. This year, we're currently up to $53,465.92.
Correct.
Is that replace a line in your office? Cause you have the administrative assistant. the
That's
secretary?
that's a completely separate line. The reason why it's up so much, Chris, is because we've had 3 arbitrations, which we won already. We've had 2 lawsuits. We got 4 union contracts we did. We have employee handbook. We have a department heads contract. We have the after school program, which is still a lawsuit against us. We got the 2 new department heads. We got many concerns over DPW, over the CSCA and clerk's office. So we've got many, actually it's down from last year. And if you follow each meeting, the concerns that we addressed in exec session, which I will mention, and regular, this is we're easy, so easy, because we have deep pockets. So we think, so we sue stuff from them.
We can't use any of our in-house attorneys.
Well, we do all the time. I asked Michael came on first, and it's labor. Mike's not a labor attorney. Brittany's not a labor attorney. They do other things. It's like you go somewhere and a person can do welding, they can't do something else. Their particular thing is just basically attorney situations that happen with the city, not lawsuits. Well, lawsuits, but not labor is completely different there. And it's that we saved a lot of money by doing it now, because if we wouldn't have had them, we would be paying tons of thousands in litigation that we would have lost. We don't.
it also comes out of the professional services.
Yeah, it's not out of my office.
Any other questions on the bills? Nope. All right, resolution 3, the change order. The police department side entrance repair project. Questions on it? You want to do council on this? Good with that? All right. We published the notice for the direct sale for 20 Seymour Street. Any questions on that? You want to do council on this resolution?
This is number 2, right? We published 3 times.
It's been published 3
Oh,
times.
that is the,
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, next is the Board of Assessment review. Questions? Anybody want this? Day of play, questions? Sean?
Just have a question, we have another thing, that day in Veterans Park. Can't hold it, can't.
The about was, it was eliminated for another day. This was,
Yeah, I know, but it's on the same day as this,
No, they changed it,
that's what's gonna,
right?
yeah, it's not-
I thought it came across to my email today. That it was the 20th, what day is this?
Give me a different time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the day of
Friday,
play is during
yeah.
the day, and even if it's on the same day, the camp house at night.
And it starts that day, Phil.
Yes.
It's not the same area, isn't it?
Well, no, if they plays on the east side, the west side.
Something, you know, I'm just saying that this was something came across the.
If it was the same day, it was thought out because they're both.
All right, let's go around the room. Sure, she's.
We done the bollards on Delaware North.
Yes, the window. Waiting for, I talked to Mike over there, the things, the yellow things, the price, Dave, we had a price on those yellow things, the tall yellow ones,
For the ballots?
yeah,
I have not yet. I didn't know I was supposed to.
yes, I've been waiting for that, for the, three of them.
Okay.
Price of three, we did the bumps first, remember the bumps on Fulton? You got those, no response on that. Now we're waiting for the yellow one, both I have to put up, the car went right through there, went into his window one time. And so, as a city, I feel obligated to help a business feel comfortable in our city, so he doesn't move out. And if I had to put three of them there, I would put three of them,
I have a price for you tomorrow before 3.
thank you.
They did good on one down the station.
Pardon?
You know, so some branded little, the sheets.
Well, that's a different, one.
Yeah, I
that,
know.
that was made out of tin, it's just not very old.
Yeah, any update on Watson Drive weeds? Weed guard.
Oh, the way, yeah, well,
I got, I don't know.
we canceled, we had a cancel our last one, because, but I have to find out, Jim, is when, if we're gonna sell a piece of land, I've gotta find out if it's been designated. If you sell a piece of land, it's a park, you gotta designate parkland somewhere else. And I gotta get a definition of where those other parklands are, so I can make sure that I don't take parkland away, and never, you know. We can put it back in, so, I'm waiting to get some ideas out there, where all the parkland is, where it's identified. Because when they built David Homes, they got rid of, that's all parkland. For the, National Village used to be, so they gave a lot of it, and designated a lot, that was designated one of them, I gotta find another area where I can designate.
I felt David Holmes give us back that little bit of area.
I did. I already
So
did.
that's, I mean, she,
We took everything out of it because it's, those things, way before us. I agree.
I think that's it.
Mr. Fisher?
Question for Mike and Brittany. Mike,
No, he's here.
is there any referendums on this November's ballot?
Yes.
Is there, which was it for you?
City has some seat.
Presidency.
So they, that was filed?
It will be.
The deadline of its vote.
Yes.
Sorry, vote with that.
Sure. I did have a call out, I spoke with Sharon on Friday about title to it, number 6.
Right.
So that doesn't go to the council or anything, that you just file that and it gets voted on?
Was that an independent one or was that for a charter?
It's the charter revision.
That's the charter, because the only way you change the charter is gotta go up, and be voted on.
But just curious, the process for the charter revision, I remember we did last time, it's also, out we set meetings,
Right.
we have all that.
I refuse to do public meetings up to this point because people forget by time November. So I've got one plan here, it's a council meeting, I got one plan at the city, senior center, and one plan at the library, actually this month before September, and to, so educate them just beforehand. Because we do understand the problems we're having, connect, get people, to live in the city.
But I mean, you've been, it's been at your discretion to waive residency on a case by case basis. Is this really a charter? I mean, is it in the
Yeah,
charter? or
it
is it
is.
specific to voting?
I think we can, hang on. It isn't sure.
yeah, but if when she handed out, isn't that set up precedent? Anybody else comes on board,
It's not a
so,
good precedent.
I mean, everybody can see what,
It's not a good
but I
precedent.
mean,
You keep changing
Right.
it one by one by one. That's not fair to people say, I would love to see. We change the charter, then everybody can be right in it.
so in other words, we can keep hiring people, they can move out, so we're gonna pay $100,000 for a cop or whoever. And they're gonna move out, what service do we get besides 8 hours? Cause I'm a firm believer in residency and I will.
Well, so was I was.
You know, and I'll give you, for instance, like Koshway, if that cop didn't live up there, would that lady be alive today?
Right.
Not reverse it, say, well, geez, the guy got involved in something, guess what, that's what you get paid for. That's why you're a cop.
I used to agree with you 100%, and now we don't get, we can't get any cops to even do laterals. Nobody wants to move in the city. So all because the guy lives in the town.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that you turn around, we had that where any of those guys got hired after. Chatel, it was, right, Chatel was first.
Yep.
You know, do they go to court? Does that set a precedent? hey, you let it for one, why can't we let it for other? But we're gonna give them that they're gonna move out. And what do we get besides 8 hours? And I was always a firm believer, having a cop on your flag, always made for good little security, peace of mind and all that stuff. You're giving them a lot of money, tax money. So it's like Grand Island, we might as well move the sheriff in that. Give us 2, 3 cars, we get rid of all the top administrators, save the city $2, $3 million that the city's paying for right now.
Jim, I love the philosophy, unfortunately, in real world, it's not him.
Well, we got cops, we do have cops that work a lot of overtime, I understand that. But I mean, geez, it's, you're gonna use a county list anyway, so what the hell is the difference?
We're gonna use a county list of somebody who's number 20, having your
I'm
back.
telling you, I think it's a slippery slope and you can lose a long time down the road. I really believe that, in my heart. And, agree to disagree, that's all I can do.
Well, the reason why I brought it up was I see you're focused on the police and you're not wrong. But then they also want to apply for the DPW, it's gonna apply for snow removal, it's gonna apply for all the cities. Everyone's
Fire
gonna.
department's already exempt.
Yeah, no, garbage, sanitation. So if you're on the truck and you don't live here, and then you decide to switch into a bid position like mechanic. You allegedly have to move back into the city, you don't get grandfathered into that outside, and you have to move back in. So we're gonna see an exodus of our city employees. And we're not getting anything for it, it won't be negotiated, it won't be a collective bargaining
I
agreement.
disagree with seeing that, I've already talked about how the police who already live here, and basically what they said is, they're happy because they're not gonna get a guy who's 19th on the list, who barely passed the exam, who's to have their back. They want somebody who is up there, halfway decent, and they'll have their back, and I agree. They're not getting the people. A, nobody wants to be a cop, first of all, and B.
Well, that's a trend of the nation.
Well, it is, but you know what, I can't encourage people, even from North Carolina, let her move here. I can't get it.
So they get someone who's number 19 on the list, they're gonna get someone who's number 2 on the list.
Yeah.
But lives in Clarence Center.
Again, we can be discretionary, we can pick somebody who lives in North Carolina, so we live in the town of Carolina.
So you would discriminate against them based on where they live?
I'm not saying that, I'm saying that you look at who's a better employee for the city, better fit.
What you're saying is that you wouldn't want to scrape the bottom of the barrel with employee number 19, but if employee number 2 was a great candidate, but lived in Clarence Center. You would go with employee the list number 3 or 4 that live in North Tonawanda?
I would pick them cheap, I would pick somebody off the list, that lives in, right?
Yeah, but you mentioned about setting a radius as far as,
Right.
how far they can live out the city.
Right, how far them.
Now it opens
But I gotta
up
pass it,
for
I gotta
a
change
market
it
full
first.
of good, of good possible options.
But again, we're getting pigeonholed on the officer aspect, but then what happens if the DPW employees come up? You're gonna have people from DPW applying to work here that are gonna be doing snow removal and mechanic work and stuff like that. And if they're coming from Williamsville, or if they're coming from East Amherst, or Cheektowaga, when we had the knife storm that they called it, and they're calling in going, I'm in Cheektowaga, I got 7 feet of snow, you're going, I'm gonna say, I got 2 inches, and they can't come in. And I'm not talking police, I'm talking DPW and other services. And what are we getting for this? Like, so this is going through the charter, there's no negotiation and collective bargaining, you're basically giving this away for free.
We're giving way to get good employees.
So that's the cost?
For a good employee, you guys don't want good, I don't want good employees to do it loud.
I
And
think,
show up for work every day.
guess it's also a good reaffirmation by doing this, civil service.
That- Right, well, we'll just point out a civil service at that point, you can just use the county list, we'll go back to the county conversation, we can eliminate our civil service, go on the county
We
system.
eliminated our civil service, you would hurt every department in.
Right, we're going countywide now, hiring people that live in East Amherst, what would be the difference?
Because, well,
There's no difference.
There's no difference, your logic makes no sense, you wanna be able to hire good quality candidates from East Amherst. But you need our city of Tonawanda
a
civil
5-mile
service.
radius, Chris. We can do anything we want, once we get it past first.
Already follow the rules in civil service and.
Well, that time out,
rules, there's
And
the more
that's first,
stringent, sure.
that's like.
And hire the Grand Island candidate, but go for the county civil service to
They
do
would
it.
set the rules, parameters, everything, before well, we do it later, well, the parameters later, just something you're going down.
Chief, are you supportive of the?
Yeah, we just had a list that we went through and, people were not responding. And we had like 26 people on this.
Why
And
didn't they
so it just kind of locked us up. What's that?
Why didn't they respond?
I had no idea. They apparently don't want to be police officers when they took the test. They didn't respond to the physical fitness test. They didn't show up for it. Some said they would respond, they never responded. So you know, what I do is just sit on a list for 4 years of people that are not responding and don't want to be police officers, so. Katie actually was able to put out another test, so. So we're gonna have another civil service, test come up.
And the ladder of movement is, 0 right now, high.
We had 3 that were interested and 2 that were, sounded like pretty good officers, but due to the residency, they said. And they, you know, one was just actually just outside the city of Hyde.
But you've already waived that. Right. Right, so what I'd say again, I don't wanna make that, I handle just waive it, the waiver.
So you just rather open about that.
Always.
That's,
Okay, so you'll check on the date, okay. Anything else?
Oh, you're gonna, so we're here a while. DPW, so one of the things we talked about was a stipend from Franzet. I had a conversation with Adam as far as funding. He claims that we're overspent on the lines based on who stayed over, who left, who took over, where the health benefits shook out. So, you know, we had a discussion in 2024 with Franzek about a stipend. And then we said we would revisit it in 2025. We did end up giving him $5,000 this year. But that was to take on all the parks, rec, supervise. He did a great job at the pool, did a great job keeping the grass mowed down, the splash pad. You know, I'm trying to find, even if we gave him something more, because he was asking for 15, I think we said we were aiming for 10, we settled at 5 until we saw how things shook out. Those things shook out.
That's funny, Chris, because it wasn't how things shook out. I told him at the first year, we'll talk about it, yeah. So you're just, you keep bringing it up and up and up. I run day to day and I sat down with him and I told him what the parameters were. After the first, we'll talk about your stipend and the job you did and we'll revisit.
Stipend.
And you keep bringing it up and up and up and up. I don't understand it. It's because it's an election year? I don't get it.
Well, actually, it's not an election year topic. We're gonna get to those. We're not there yet.
Okay.
It's not an election year topic to compensate the DPW superintendent to do the job of 2 people. Because we failed to have a Parks and Rec director. And then we string him along. He does a great job.
He understood from day one, I told him. That you would be talked about, we would talk about it and go for a year process after the first year.
First of the year 2025 or first of the year 2026.
26, we gave him 5,000 already.
You might not be here in 2026 to have that conversation with them. So you're talking about an election year deal. You're talking about having a conversation with a person in 2026, and we even have that election in November yet. So when are you gonna have this conversation with them?
It's, you know what, Chris, it's the parameters that we set up, so give him some goals that he's shooting for, and the first of the year was one, whether we're here or not. The council heard it, that's what the parameters that were set up. And I hope you would follow it. Have us talk, I just wanna we hand out too many just stipends for stipends. Let him do his job, he's doing a great job, don't get me wrong, but after the first season, it can be reviewed by me or by somebody else.
We have somebody in the Parks Director position now.
I do.
And is that person taking on those additional
Yes,
responsibilities?
Dave, is he doing a good job?
Yeah, Nate's doing a great job as rec
Thank you.
leader.
Is he taking on some of that,
Yeah.
stuff that we put onto?
Yep.
Content.
Dave, have they removed all the duties from Parks and Rec and given them all to Nate, or do you still handle some stuff?
I handle all the park stuff, Nate handles most of the rec stuff, and then if he needs something, comes to me.
So you're still doing Parks duties?
Oh, yeah, to oversee the whole department.
Yeah.
I'm technically overseeing Nate as well.
So that's what's this conversation, this is what's spurring this conversation, is to see if we are going to add a little additional stipend to this for him taking on this responsibility as we come into winter, as we come into Fall Fest. So that's why I brought that up. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings?
I agree, I think he's picked up a lot. What was the final tally, Chris, from McNeil? Did he give you a tally of what?
He sent it to me in an email, I didn't print it, but as far as being over, he claims we're over $25,000 on that lot. But again, I think that includes the benefit package, because he's claiming that when the one person was supposed to come off, they stayed on with the benefit package, which I don't believe is possible. I think that's more of an executive conversation here. But, and then, even executive, Adam would have to be here to break those numbers down to us, because just based on his email, I don't see those numbers. So,
as of 2025, at this time, we have not borrowed 1 cent from. Not 1 penny. And that's fantastic. You thought about what we're projecting to take out.
Okay, well, that's it for my issue, so maybe the next meeting we can get Adam here and. Go around and see what the numbers look like, and even if it's a small stipend to add to the other ones, we can close out the year. And then get him to the first of the year, and then if he wants to negotiate or says, you know what, you're not gonna give me anything, I'm not gonna do parks anymore, hire somebody, that'll be on Dave to have that conversation.
Why would you put something like that?
What do you mean?
Why would you say, I don't just say I want to do parks? That's what.
What do you mean? What if he doesn't?
You know, you don't put that to something, you don't put that in a session like this for shame.
I know, well, you're gonna love the next one.
Work for free.
We basically do it.
Did you guys get the email about the Elks Lodge bike night? They got changed due to some SLA requirements, they had to move some things around, Sharon sent out an email. You guys
I mean, what the SLA.
Yeah, they had to move some things, we all got that email, came from the administrative assistant, came to all of us, we got that. You also got a letter about the interim appointment of a fire chief, you guys saw that one? And then what I liked on that one was on the bottom, they we CC'd everybody who actually received it. City clerk, county council, personnel file, that was good, we know where that letter went. Spitball on another thought. Can we appoint the city clerk? Specifically Mario, can we appoint him to another year or two, starting this January 2026? We extend his term now, can we as a council vote now?
Done During the rules of order.
What?
It's done during the rules of order if we seat the new council.
I thought the police were.
No, so we can't extend, we can't keep him for 26 and 27, like right now, we can't do that.
No.
Okay, just. I would have thought it would have been a good idea. So did you guys get the memo about the mayor appointing Judge Saltarelli to the part-time city judge position effective January 1st, 2026? You guys got that memo? Yeah, when did you guys get that memo? I got a copy. Well, you got a copy for you. Notice on the bottom of it, it says the CC. You can pass it back to the council, but you like a copy. Notice on the bottom where it says CC, it only CCs in Mark Saltarelli, but you gotta read this thing. Cause when it talks about during an election year is the mayor who's not going to be. Who has not been elected yet this November has already appointed a seat for January 1st, 2026. He's not even eligible. That's you would think, right?
Was your name on there, please?
So what happens is, when
He's
you
not
read
even
it,
eligible.
well, not only that, but when you talk about it, well, I have so many questions on this.
It has nothing to do with anybody in this room. It was asked by Mark to put it together, which I did. And whether I win or not, it has nothing to do with that. It has, Mark may not even win. Mark may not even win his case, that he gets an opportunity to be assistant judge. It's irrelevant, Chris. It's irrelevant.
So on this, you write. He is the only judge trained to deal with youth court. That's concerning to you, since none of the full-time candidates, which would be Mike Rua and Dean Lilac, would be able to step in on the first day. And he will have to mentor whoever is elected to that full-time position. What makes you qualified to say that he has to mentor either one of those candidates?
Because he's the one qualified person.
Well, what makes you qualified in making that? Do you have a JD? Are you a lawyer?
Do you know that, do I have permission to put that, or did I need your permission to write that? I did not.
Absolutely not, but I'm asking you, in your opinion, you wrote here, I quote, Judge
That's my
Saltarelli
opinion.
will have to mentor whoever, that's not an opinion, you're saying the state will have to mentor whoever's elected for the full-time position. Does that mean if he loses his case and you can't appoint him, you're gonna hire him as a consultant, since neither one of them are qualified?
Who's signing at the bottom?
John White,
Okay, that's my opinion.
so.
Mr. Roy, do
It
you
does,
have
I am.
anything to add?
The letter's not effective. There's two conditions that have to happen. One is John's gotta win re-election, and two is Mark's gotta win his lawsuit. This letter was generated for the purposes of the lawsuit. The lawsuit requires the complainant to have potential damages. So I didn't see the letter. I would have preferred that it said it's my intention to do this rather than the way it's written, but it's not effective. Obviously, one, he's not elected yet, and two, the law hasn't been changed. So there's two conditions that have to go before this would have any effect. But it was submitted for the purpose of the lawsuit to show the court that there are damages involved. If they don't change the law, that the complainant, in this case, Judge Saltarelli, will be damaged. You can't sue and say, well, I might get hurt. You gotta show that there's an injury. So by having the mayor's intention to appoint Mark, if those other two conditions occur, then Mark can show that if they don't change the law, he's damaged because he lost the job.
Can you appoint, even if this was valid and he could appoint them? Wouldn't he file that with the city clerk, the city council? Wouldn't you tell somebody other than the judge that you're appointing your campaign donor that you're
Not all
appointing them?
correspondence is an official correspondence, so it doesn't have to be filed with the,
So we can essentially run the government in secret.
you know. Not running the government,
He's running the city,
it's
but
an intentions.
according to this, it says John White, right? on the bottom. He doesn't, and he's arguing with me that he says it's his name on the bottom. I know it's his name on the bottom.
It
Who
should,
determines, Mike, who determines that? And I like Mark, he's frank, okay, but who determines that he's got damages? Cause somebody isn't appointed to a $100,000 job, when he's leaving the $200,000 job? That holds some water at all.
well,
Yeah,
you gotta show the court, they're not gonna decide something if there's no reason to decide it. If I change the law, then he gets the job.
the
Okay?
law over 7.
Yes,
Over 7.
right.
Because then
But
he had a
if-
similar
if
case,
they
but
say,
they
look,
had an
change-
opening over there
change
as a
the law.
part-time judge, and that's why.
They tried this
we-
every
Change,
year.
change the law and maybe I'll get appointed. They're not gonna act on, well,
Right.
maybe something's gonna happen. If we change the law, yes. So again, the
And-
wording I would have preferred to be different. But
NT had
again,
an
it's
opening
not
as a
effective.
part-time judge.
You
And that's when
can't
they threw him in there for a 6-year term, prior to that. Whenever appointment, January 1.
Right,
This was whatever, 5-6 years ago, whatever that was. And that's what that does, we've got all positions filled under this law.
Oh, it's completely embarrassing. What's even worse is when I bring up about the DPW. When I bring up about the DPW getting a small stipend, I'm told it's an election day issue. Yeah, this is an election day issue, but it's done in secrecy. And if you look at the bottom of the CC, who we gave it to, it was never given to the clerk, it was never shared with the council, it's an appointment for. It starts off with, I am appointing Honorable Mark Saltarelli as part-time city court judge effective January 1st, 2026. Just like the city attorney said, I would have preferred it to say, and he made his statement, you didn't do that. You filed this saying you are filling it, you are doing an action. And then you went on to say, which I find insulting for the two candidates, that neither one of them were qualified, they have to be mentored by Saltarelli. You wrote it.
He worked in it and the other two have not.
I don't think you're qualified to make that opinion.
And the bond is signed by me. and I-
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, so Mike's given his opinion,
as far as
anything
the
else?
secret though, just so you know, the letter was also filed with the Office of Court Administration and in the lawsuit, so it wasn't secret, it is public.
I'm fully aware of that, thank you. I'm fully aware where to find it.
You never worked out for it when you're on the thing?
Occasionally.
Must be qualified then, huh? Huh? I don't know.
If you think of both opinion, we have, because
Yeah, they should be in that position.
In around foreclosure list, did we ever get a copy of the actual addresses that were mailed letters with the interim foreclosures?
I don't know, there is a list of delinquent taxpayers, it's been filed in the clerk's office, published. It was on the board out there for a while too. I talked to Phyllis on Friday. And she is getting me the ones that didn't pay by the August 25th deadline. We're down to 13 properties.
Down from how many, you know?
Originally, we got 85 stub searches. We had a couple of hundred on the first list, the list of delinquent taxpayers, it was like 250 or something like that. We got down to a point by sending courtesy letters and asking people to pay to like 85, we ordered 85 stub searches.
Okay.
Those 85 people have all got notices, they've all paid up now, but 13, might be 15. Two of them are in bankruptcy, so I can't remember if Phil's told me it was 15 and we're down to 13, or it's 13 and 2 of them are in bankruptcy. So we're down to 13. I just talked to her tonight. I was over there talking to her a few moments ago. She's gonna send me the updated list. She wasn't able to do it today. Some issues with the clerk's office. They had to work the desk and other things in the office.
Yeah, I just, well, that's good to know that we're in the team, that means money's flowing in then.
Oh, yeah,
So the money-
we've collected a lot of money. We've collected a lot of money, so the judgment of
There's been several
foreclosure
emails
was prepared.
for that, listen,
Yeah, I've asked it.
you haven't
Well,
got it
who
yet.
who you
I
asking
had
to?
I asked Mr. Lewis last two council
Are you
meetings.
sending it to his correct email address?
I will get it to you.
Well, should he be asking Phyllis?
Well, Phyllis has the current list.
Yeah,
of
but
the
so would it
13
be-
that are left. I don't have that yet, but I have the original.
When,
list.
you want the original, or do you want the one that Phyllis has of the 13 remaining? I'm more interested in the 13 remaining. than this.
That's what I'm.
So is
Well,
it,
she's
is it,
supposed to be emailing you that, so I can
Appreciate it.
pass it on.
I was gonna say, is it more appropriate to ask her, or just wait for you to get it and then pass it on?
Either way. I'll be happy to pass it on as soon as I get it. I talked to her tonight, so it was on her desk. She said she just didn't get to it today. We can talk on Friday. I asked her for it on Friday.
Okay, thank you for that. And then, this one's the Dave, from all, water mitigation for your area, you were dealing with, to get it in town, is that all taken care of? That's good?
Life is not good.
Oh,
We had a meeting with the town last week, 2 weeks ago, and they basically locked up. So my advisement to the residents last week was to sue the town.
This is really worth it beginning.
fine.
So I spoke with the residents and
Did you ever reach out back out to Tim Kennedy's office to see if
not after that, not after the meeting with the town.
so we can't get the town to come to the table?
They came to the table and they told us that, anything that we were asking, to quote them directly was way too expensive.
But it was in the paperwork and everything that they are responsible.
Correct, so. That's why I advise this, residents to go ahead and find the attorneys and. See them, at least file an
The lights, on park, the parts in yet? The LED lights,
Sharon?
that was a Sharon question, I guess. Still no? We have, maybe by Halloween, when it's dark, the little kids are running around the neighborhood.
Hoping they
Maybe.
went out last year.
They weren't up last Halloween,
I know,
just making that clear.
I understand they are. Asked for updates every time they're in there, just in the city. A week and a half ago, but the parts aren't in yet, they're back to that.
Sounds like we need a better, repair contract, I think. Is it?
Dave, Mayor,
Couple of things, the, committee for the, Steve Worthing, traffic and safety. They wanted me to clarify a couple of things that we're putting no standing signs at Adams Street and Kohler. Correct, talked about that, we talked about, Kohler. Street at Adam and Kohler on both sides, so then Adams Street at Franklin and Franklin Street at Adams, so there's two intersections. Going both ways, no standing required. We're gonna put them up, and unless anybody has any objection. We're gonna get them up. Anybody? No, you brought that as a concern. Yep. Another thing is I asked Nate to get together, which he did, I thank him for it. Is give me an idea what solar fuel is, what happened in 2025. Pass this around. We're happy, but I want things changed. What I want changed is give me some new prices. Want to change our daily pool entrance fees from $3 to $3. Swimming lessons, increase them from $20 to $25. Recreation parks increase, pass increase from $50 to $20 for a year, and the recreation family pass from $50 to $65. And that's on the bottom. It's just we gotta get up to the time. We are not near there, and I firmly believe we can do one more year if we talk to Amanda. Putting a Band-Aid on the pool, so we're gonna lose some money with the water that's leaking out of it, along with chemicals. But also had a great conversation with Joe Eminger that, hey, looking for, $20,000, we all the kids come from the city town one and swim there for free, for $20,000. So saving a lot of money. I mean, worst comes to worst. So he's still further out there, but I think that we can utilize that pool, putting a Band-Aid on it again for another season. Make some money on it, you see dollars, yes.
And you're still saying that that loss of revenue loss that we're making every year is solely on water and.
Well, that's what we figured, we had an engineer come in, beside ours to try to find out where it's coming from, where it's taken from, we can't,
Right.
we have no idea.
But that's where you're quantifying the loss. I mean, there's been some talk about, the revenue not making up for what it lost to them.
So
So,
you see the revenue, I mean, so I went 1 weeks, you had the loss of the chemicals of the water, let's say $100,000, along with your payroll and the things that do to keep that thing open, I think it's quite a bit. So it's a 7-week period.
well, I'm just trying to make the differentiation. If the pool's fixed and we're not losing out on chemicals in the water, are we somewhat breaking even?
It's never, so there's too much that goes wrong with it every year, between motors, pumps, the walls, the liners, it's just too much. Like I said, we're putting Band-Aids on it, and then,
Right, but because we're continually putting Band-Aids on it.
right,
But is there the assumption that if we do replace the pool, we do get some funding for it?
Right.
Some of those losses are no longer going to be.
oh, yeah, absolutely.
Last year was 17,000 per week for 7 weeks. Possible.
Right.
That's what it was, one.
Yeah.
20%.
We certainly care of it, my fight always is the 3 waterways, I'm not typically, jump in the river, learn how to swim around. So, yeah, I also have permission from the school to use the, high school to teach kids to swim. There's alternatives out. But, we gotta either get behind the pool, support it, you sign something that, we accept, and the city would accept 20% match, and move forward on these bids, on these grants, or we have more conversations with the town. And I said, we got to think of. Those are real questions. Was the audit or the assessment, we handed out to everybody, was it confined for people that come to the pool? Hey, fill this up, hey, fill this up, hey, fill this up. Yeah, I'm supportive. 100%. Did you want to part of your tax? Absolutely. I never problem with that. But ask the rest of the city who didn't have an opportunity to fill it out. We just gotta make sure we're making the right decision for the right reasons. And it's council people, we've got people,
I have a question about this recreation pass.
Yes.
So $15. So if a resident pays the $15, that means they can have unlimited visits to the pool, is that correct? And then they
No, it's-
don't pay the daily cost, I know.
it'll be, I know people.
And then
want
the
to use it
same,
with Family.
same thing with the family.
Same thing with them.
And is that just for the pool or is that?
That would be, to get in the building, which teaching was flat.
Right, but is there anything else in the city that is included in the?
No,
recreation?
no, just it's a good thing to have, I mean, a good look at the numbers.
It's a good deal, but I think, when you're looking at that splash pad over in Tonawanda, with the town, and they're paying $10 a person for 2 hours.
And they got Parliament reservation.
Yeah, I know, I think we could probably raise this a little more, so we still be.
I just didn't think we were in line and now it's time to wait. Take a look at that and we'll discuss that further.
I mean, just at the top of the Pendleton Park.
Yes, I.
You see that now, my big granddaughter with her today and that.
I know,
Guys, guess what? Walked in, didn't cost me anything.
Exactly.
And they got a hell of a playground. Got in young kids, it's a hell of
Now, I got something to think about. I know the council, we went with a resolution, but we're not gonna sign that we agree with the bills until the bills come to us first. And I agree with, I would never wanna say, go ahead with something. My problem is, we already signed contract with Spectrum, we already signed contract with the gas and electric, we already signed contracts, but these are every month situations. And now we're paying late fees now. Because we can't get it done because we meet every 2 weeks, and it's due within 10 or 14 days. So instead of going backwards on those, I'm just saying, maybe we should think about the consistent monthly bills that are paid every single month. Let them be paid, otherwise, we'll be paying late fees constantly.
I'm pretty sure that was your city treasurer that created that, we didn't create that as a council.
I want to bring it to the council's awareness, so maybe we can talk about changing it, because I asked him about that, he said, I can't change it, I put it together, they agreed with it, council wanted it, now the council would have to say, for those. And
When was he directed by the council?
well, because he said that, look at the council runs the finance. If I'm gonna change something, I can together financially, like, I want the council's blessing, he says, I don't want.
But when did he ask to?
We never saw a policy
We
on it.
never saw a policy on that to change it to having close, right?
I thought he put something on.
He emailed us that this would be the new.
Right.
But But
Correct.
when he created it, he never asked for permission or told the council nothing, he just said, this is how I'm gonna do things moving forward.
Did the,
And now you're saying we're incurring late fees due to that,
we are.
that seems like something you need to address with him,
I mean, didn't Mr. Ru already make a ruling on this years ago about? There's not really a need for us to approve the bills every time that they get paid, it's already budgeted for,
That's what that-
and that the
that's-
resolution is pretty much a new form.
That's what.
Correct, but we modified the resolution, right?
Yeah,
How the bill.
but I mean, I guess there's,
You know, I guess.
what is the real reason that?
What Adam was stuck on, Sean, was the fact that the council wants to see all the bills before we pay. them. And that's what he's done.
I think it was more of at least I read through them after he sends us the email.
Right.
I then ask the questions on it, and if there's an issue, we've already paid for the 5 gallon jug of water that I have an issue with. Now it's, are we gonna continue it versus, are we gonna stop it, not pay for it, take on a late fee and then pay? So I didn't see a need for it, but he said he wanted to do it that way, this way everything had the blessing of the council before he mailed the check on. But now the way you're presenting it, it makes sense, he's incurring late fees, trying to run that way.
We are, that's why. I bring it to attention.
But I mean, again, we've had this conversation, this is already budgeted for, we're
Thank you.
approving the bill.
And I will address it.
I mean, they bought a vote for the fire department years ago, out of the vehicle contingency fund, and approved that first.
So, well, a perfect example is,
But I'm just saying.
we moved our dog thing, which is called Pit Chicks, they went out of business in Grand Island. So we picked up a new guy in Grand Island, and Pit Chicks absorbed a lot of the class, overnight staying, additional stuff, she just loved the animals, she's fearless. The new one doesn't do this, 32 nights every night, people dog, and it's cost us a lot more money, so I'm gonna have Chief Sloss will lose some money, 5,000 out of none of his, where he's saving money in, to go into this dog account because it's being overdrawn, because we're spending too much money on the dog. I'm not one to put an animal in euthanize, I tell you that for now. I don't wanna be known as that city that does that, but we're getting dogs and they keep them 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights, when we find a place to put the dog. 1 night, 2 nights, we find a home for them. 1 night, those nights add up, and now they go big time. Chief, am I correct?
That's
Is
about
there anything you wanna add to that? Because anything you wanna add to that?
No, it's just, if we get 2 dogs, that are, you gotta house them for at least 5. You know, in case the owner is looking for them, and then after that, you can put them for adoption. That's
Right.
150 just for 1 week. And then on top of that, if there's any vet bills, we've gotta take care of all of that. And, you know, and then the 400 a month, it's just, it's totally unexpected, from what we had from, the pit check. So,
And we're expecting on the federal government, have the new single year, and you get reports, so long, reports from government. And they go through it and make sure that we are keeping our dogs healthy, we are keeping them warm, we have a place that they don't freeze in the winter time, they don't get too hot in the summertime, so. We're doing our job, we're doing our due diligence, but it's just, Pit Chicks was a great business. This guy's treated it a little bit different, he was the cheapest around, and he only went. So I will move that, just so you know, if you see, why are we moving, that's why we're moving that kind of money, because we didn't anticipate that, type of change in the dogs.
Just to add, we've had a significant number of dog cases this year. We just euthanized 2 dogs last month. We had a couple dangerous dog petitions, so. There's been a lot of dog action this year for some reason, more than usual.
And the federal government is like the Department of Ag and Markets, and they come in and they do an inspection every year, actually 3 times a year. And I get reports, and every time we're spot on, I always want to be spot on. We just want to be efficient in that, so we'll give you what you need, I think.
So to move the money around, what's the resolution?
That's, I mean, right, minutes.
That's just presented to us, doesn't there have to be a physical resolution to say?
There has to be an amendment to the budget line.
Okay. Then I will,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anybody have
Are
any
we
questions?
over budget on that line currently?
Oh, yeah, got that current line, that's very much. We are under budget, so really another one, we can move from one budget line to another, we come. Any other questions on it? And that's all I have, regular.
Madam President?
Yes.
Just, I know my time is up, but I just did have one more question that's been kind of processing that, of course. While we were talking about the appointment thing, I know you've got a public comments on that. But you did say something to the fact that that was part of a different lawsuit for Judge Salzveld. Are you involved with that lawsuit? Are you advocating for it? I mean, with some of these letters?
He didn't know about it.
So you didn't know about that at all?
No.
No.
I
I mean, I know about the lawsuit being challenged.
Right. I'm just
Law.
my question just comes from the fact
I
that
didn't
you're our
know
city
about-
attorney. I didn't know if you're working on behalf of that as well, or on behalf of the city.
Doesn't even.
No. No, there's two lawsuits, so one private lawsuit from him about age discrimination and one trying to challenge the law.
Gotcha.
This would be
But
challenged.
that's all him on his own. Right.
All on his own. He's not involved in any way.
Challenged many years by people. Every year.
Sorry, I just misunderstood. Thank you.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn our informal, go to our formal, do I have a second? Second, Mr. Shusley, all those in favor?
I'm really good.
Salem United Church? Here. How are you? Well, come on up. I just want to read this first. I want to thank them for appreciation for your commitment to maintaining a beautiful property in the city of Tonawanda and fostering a warm, welcoming atmosphere and that enriches the very fabric of our community because you keep it very clean, colorful, and that I hope is contagious in the rest of the city. Thank you. Everybody did what you did, it was unbelievable.
I wish I could take credit for it.
And you're running today. There you go.
Thank you so much. Communications from the mayor have been ordered and filed. Communications from city officials and correspondents have also been ordered and filed. At this time, we'll now take comments by the public on the resolutions. For those that are joining us in person, please approach the microphone. For those that are joining us virtually, there's a spot for you to raise your hand. Please do so and the clerk will call upon you. Mr. Clerk, any resident wishing to address the council on the resolution?
No, ma'am.
All right, let's proceed.
Resolution number 1 by Councilmember Sheasley.
Do we have a second?
I'll take.
Second by Mr. Mylum. Comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rounstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 2 by Councilmember Mylum.
Do we have a second? I'll second. Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher,
Nay.
Rounstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 3 by the council.
Seconded by the council. Mr. Clerk, you have to read the resolution.
Yes, ma'am. I just didn't know if you were going straight to asking if there were questions or not. Resolved at the recommendation of the city engineer, Jason J. Lamonaco, that award of change order number 2 to the police department side entrance repair project be made to Alligator Construction Corporation at a cost not to exceed $8,932.
Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rounstrau,
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Madam President.
Mr. Rounstrau?
In the
is letting the clerk off the hook a little bit, maybe first liquor. Readings for 4, 5, and 6.
Mr. Clerk, I have a motion on the floor by Councilmember Rounstrau to waive readings of 4, 5, and 6. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Sheasley. Please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rounstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Alright,
Cook,
I declare waiving the readings of resolution 4 through 6.
resolution number 4 by the council.
Seconded by the council. Comments or questions? Call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rounstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 5 by Councilmember Mylum.
I'll second. Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rounstrau,
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted.
Resolution number 6 by Councilmember Rounstrau.
Do we have a second? Second by Mr. Mylum. Comments or questions? Please call the roll.
Sheasley,
Aye.
Fisher,
Aye.
Rounstrau,
Aye.
Mylum,
Aye.
Cook.
I declare the resolution adopted. Now take comments by the public following the resolutions. Yep. Mr. Clerk, we have a comment on the floor.
Dennis Ryan, 76. You all know what I'm gonna say before I say it. So I think we've had the conversation with everybody but Jenna. I've talked with all the councilmen privately and the mayor. I'm confused. You guys told me one thing, the councilman also told me one thing, and the mayor's told me. What I just heard is, he needs to hear from you guys that you request him to get a hold of a guy in DEC who's in charge of the bait sheet. And work together with him and say, will you bring this guy in, and you guys sit down with him? One group tells me it's the mayor's and the chief's decision, you have no decision in it. He tells me you have a say in it. Please get together and work on this. Unless you're, I want to call any of his liars. I know what you said to me. We had private conversations. Dave and I have had open conversations, but he's going to give me some more information. I'll call the guy at DEC myself. I'll set it up. I don't have a problem with it. I woke up two days ago. My wife says, there's the thieves out there in the circle. There's 4 deer laying out there. Probably slept there all night. They ate all the flowers in the front of my house. I have a 7-foot fence so they can't get in my backyard, or they would have been gone. I cover my hydrangea with a sheet every night so they don't eat the flowers off of it. I'd like to get that award you just gave the church there for having a nice house and taking care of it. That couldn't happen at my farm because of that issue. Please get together. I'll help you. I'll volunteer and do anything you want.
Thank you for your comments. Any other comments? Mr. Clerk, we have a comment on the floor.
Move proposal 201 Green Acres Road. That'd be good to come in and kind of name to a face.
Can we just make sure your comments are in the microphone? Thank you.
About a year ago, I made an offer to the city for property over 445 Elk Creek. Went back and forth with everyone, screwed an offer to you guys. The council voted to auction, direct sale. So coming today, we send another offer for that same piece of property. The vacant piece of land. It's really this point of liability to you guys, cost of it, maintain. It's a liability, so I'm gonna hurt on it. And it's covered with garbage, dead trees. Right. I own the property next door by Elk Creek, 5 years ago, dumped a bunch of money into it, the Lincoln property now. I have people walking down the street, constantly stopping by, saying, hey, thanks for having some picture, come in, fix the property up right. So coming to you guys to give you another offer for the 445 Elton Creek. Open for a direct sale. When you compare apples to apples to other properties around you have sold or compared to. Probably not, you guys should approve the direct sale for the offer I'll send you guys for $20,000. It's per acre basis, 26% higher price wise than this fair market. For a piece that is a non-buildable, undevelopable lot, you can only build about that more. So that's some offers for you guys to kind of.
You have the proposal in writing?
Yep.
Okay, so it will go to the mayor
Yeah,
and then the council would discuss it.
perfect. I have the meeting right now.
You can just hand it to me right now. Nope,
Couple of past.
thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Mr. Clerk, we have a comment on the floor.
Jim Roller, that we have two properties in the city of Tonawanda. Give you a brief overview on, this is a mom and pop shop, it's myself,
Can we just get your address for the record? I'm sorry.
176 Cupid Avenue, Tonawanda. The two properties are mom and pop shop, it's myself, my brother-in-law, my sister. The two properties exist are the old Skill View of 363 Dollar Street. And 330 East Niagara Street, which used to be an old machine shop front. Trout Valley. Both properties we redeveloped into residential units and commercial space. Now I'm here to talk about what I feel is an inequity in the tax collection for those properties. Both because now they consist of over 6 residential units. I no longer qualify for any trash removal on either property. I am under what's called a 411 apartment, which is the classification for the taxes. So I looked back and did some investigating on that, and I found that anything over 4 units or over is also 411 classification. Now, those properties are getting all their garbage collection services that I don't get, yet they're in the same classification and same tax structure that I feel I should get. Now, I'm not an idiot. I know we're not gonna put 82 garbage cans out in front of 330 East Niagara Street. I wouldn't expect you guys to collect that. But I'm here because we don't get bulk trash pickup. Something I've been kind of going back and forth with the DPW. Obviously, that was a decision either by the board, mayor, whatever it was, that doesn't isn't, given to me as a service. These are both properties that when we started collected 30,000 in taxes. It now collects 60 to 65,000 on both of those properties. It hasn't increased any sewer usage. It hasn't increased any additional plowing. There's no additional street. Any sidewalk work that's ever needed to be done in either property, I've done, which that's not even my responsibility. But I feel that with the number of times that actually something's ever put out there, and of course it would be the end of the month when the tenant's moving out. And matter of fact, I just saw some garbage out at 330 East Niagara, and while I was there, a garbage picker came by and picked up 90% of it. So I'm not asking for a lot. I'm asking that can the DPW service us like I think I should be able to get serviced, because I'm paying for those services and I'm not getting them. Is there any questions on your end?
All right, we'll look into that and we'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Any question? Any other comments or questions? Mr. Clerk, any resident wishing to address the council?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Sheasley.
Just one thing, gentlemen, at 155 Syracuse is very happy his lake got replaced or fixed the other day. But he was complaining, I guess, last couple of months. But basically, that's all I have, you lady. Also, my thoughts and prayers are with the mayor's secretary, Judy.
Thank you, Mr. Sheasley. Mr. Fisher.
For the Chris Fisher Gives Back, I wasn't here last council meeting, August 19th. It went to the city cemetery through the American Legion for their fundraiser. They had a good fundraiser there to try to promote funds for the city cemetery from the Legion. For this week, for September 2nd, it went to the Associate VVA Chapter 77 for their event that they're holding in October. I actually had an additional one in between these two that went to Salem Church. I sponsored their Vacation Bible School pizza party. So for whatever kids they had to come to that event. So just trying to spread the wealth around this summer. You know, for those who watch the informal, I'd like to say, you know, running the city government in secrecy is just wrong. Appointing people, trying to put a referendum out a few weeks before an election day, you know, for the ballot, it's just wrong. It's not transparent, and residents should have faith in that their government is transparent. Tonawanda football had a bonfire event about 2 weeks ago. I was the only member of city government who attended, but I was there with the firefighters. Lenny and I discussed the upcoming bill season, and it was just a great time. Huge fire, very professional. Pat, if you could let your firefighters know, they did a great job. You know, the kids loved it. It was very safe. Fire hoses the truck. That's everything.
Mr. Renshaw.
Thank you, Madam President. That's all. First of all, I'd like to address Mr. Price, your concerns about the deer. I just want to go on public record and speak to the fact that I did get the opportunity, it was several months ago that we had spoken with the DEC. We got on a Zoom call with them, and we had a conversation with several of the council members about, you know, what we can do in the city to take care of it. They gave us a lot of advice, some information, and some links on how to start it. It starts with education, teach people not to feed them, prevention and whatnot, to the point where it can move to lethal means. It was my understanding the mayor had spoken to us prior to that you had some further conversations and you're going to take some things further. To this point, I haven't seen anything. My understanding that's day-to-day business that you had spoken to about, and we set you up with this laying groundwork and put you in touch with the DEC. So I haven't heard anything back or had any requests from our council to do anything about it other than a conversation that we've had before. So I would love to see the process start, see that process of getting some information out to public outreach to our residents. We're going to be split 50-50. There's people that love the deer and appreciate those animals in their backyard. And there's people like yourself that suffer the damage from deer and they get to the backyards. But I think that process needs to start, at least starting with that education and looking our ways to justify legal means if that's what we find are necessary. We can't deter it. So that's where I'm at. I think I can't speak for any of the council members, but I'm in favor of
Well, people should know it.
There's no comment.
There's
There's no comment by the public right now.
And to that point, yes, it is against the law for people to feed them. It's sort of different than right. So I just want to say thank you for continuing to bring it up. I'll bring it out again. Hopefully we can act. The other thing I just want to comment on is on a resolution for the city of Tonawanda Neighbors United Day of Play. And I encourage many people to take it. The city of Tonawanda Neighbors United does a lot of great grassroots stuff for our communities. Many volunteers that work very hard to take care of these events and put them out there. You know, I've attended many from pop-up playgrounds to planned spots to movie events in our city, and I can't say enough how well attended it is. What a great job that the members of the CFT members do. So, one, I want to say thank you to them for the work that they do in our city, and to just kind of reiterate this kind of culmination of play, imagination, and a great event at the end of the year. That's it. Thank you.
Mr. Maryland,
Nothing to report.
Mayor.
Thank you. First of all, I just want to have everybody that keep Judy in your prayers. Judy Kurtzworth underwent surgery yesterday morning. severe surgery. She's still out. She's not, have not come out of it yet. She's having a difficult time and she could be used some prayers. So if anybody want to keep Judy in your prayers, I would appreciate it. I'm sure Pete and the family would also. In regards to public support, I did talk to the DEC and I asked and talked to the council and I can't figure out where it goes from here. What we do is we bring somebody in from the DEC and have a public outreach, education, say, hey, look at public. We are willing to do, and the council is willing to support a bait and shoot. And please come in and educate us on it. It's not gonna be a fun event because there's a lot of people that love Bambi and Rudolph. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people like Mr. Fry that don't want them on the property. They're doing damage to your filet mignon on your property versus the hamburger that's in the woods. It's not gonna be a pretty sight, unfortunately, and it's going to create a lot of rhetoric for everybody. But I'm willing to do it. I asked you to come up because I thought it was important, Mr. Fry, that everybody's on the same page. Now, I will individually contact everybody in the council and just make sure, and we'll pick a day and have the education with them come in and do it. I put something in the paper for the bee. I taught it for 30 years under vertebrate pest, and it's basically just a pest with a backbone. And the deer fall in that, unfortunately. So do rabbits, so do geese. So if it's that much of a concern, we will bring it up. It's not that it took this long for it to happen, for us to move on it. There was a process of us to understand the process itself. So it can be done, but we got to get companies involved, businesses who we might be able to use their backyards. Whether it's 2 Mile Creek, you do it up there, but what about down by my house? I'm in the first ward. First ward, there's a ton of them in the first ward. They run right down the old railroad tracks, down the bike path. And I had an 8, a 6, and or a 10, a 6, and a 4 in my backyard the other night. What a beautiful sight. Great. They ate everybody's plants. They got full. Their antlers hit the bird feeders, dropped all the seed on the ground, and they ate all that. So they're very smart at what they did, but the same routine every single night. So I will check into that. I will converse with the council, get back to you, and we'll pick a day if that's what's going to happen and educate everybody. And it's the only way to do it, and everybody's got to be on board to have that done. The other thing is Mark Saltarelli. Yeah, Mark's a friend of mine. I made a commitment to him a long time ago. It meant nothing to anybody else. They have my name on it and my name only. And whether I win, whether I lost, I put it on there. It's a promise I made to Mark, which I opened to Mike Rubechter and told him that was my decision, that I was going to support him in that position if he wins. So there's a lot of ifs in there, but again, it's my name on it, nobody else's. So on that, I just want to say opening of football clinic was great. We had a lot of communication, get the field ready. They had a great burning of the dummy back there. It was fun. And the other thing is now it's fall season, fall baseball's here for Tonawanda Little League, and also fall soccer has started. So there's a lot of nice things to do yet. We got 3 big ones coming. We got Fall Fest. We've also got the It's a Wonderful Night. We've also got the Halloween. So we got 3 big events come up yet this year, which I'm really excited about doing. So please keep in tune. Check with the Bee. The Bee advertises all the time the events that are coming up. So I have nothing else, Madam President. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mayor. I want to congratulate Salem Church for all their efforts, and I want to personally thank them for their donation to the school supply drive and everyone else who supported this school supply drive. We were able to support over 70 students within our district because of all the donations that we had received. So thank you so much for that. With that said, I'd like to make a motion to go into executive session for personnel of particular people at 7:19. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Mylum. Clerk, please call the roll.
Peasley,
Aye.
Fisher,
Yay.
Roundstraw,
Aye.
Mylum.
Aye.
Cook.
Aye. All right, the council will be going into executive session. Thank you.